Jameis Winston, huge numbers, both yardage and interceptions and pick sixes, but he's averaging 210 yards in just the second half of games. That's more than these quarterbacks, who are pretty good, are averaging for entire games. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, well, Deshaun Watson, and Bryce Young. Winston also 8 touchdowns in the second half alone. Watson had 5 TDs in the 6 full games that he played. And again, he throws the ball downfield. The interesting thing will be, if he sticks around, can Kevin Stefanski get him to cut back on some of the the dangerous, ill-advised throws?
Yeah, because you see with some of these throws, you see why Jameis was the number 1 overall pick. He can fit it in some tight windows. He can go vertical. He'll miss some there, here and there, like he missed the one to Jerry Jeudy. And then you also see why he was available for less than $10 million a year when he throws it to the other team. But one thing I'll talk about that I think is, some people, I saw a Dog Pound Daily article from Mac talking about this that really highlighted it well. He has no run game right now. He's doing all of this when a defense knows that he's going to throw it 50 or 60 times. And with a guy that is makes so many turnover worthy plays, gives opportunities to the defense, if he's throwing the ball 50 or 60 times, he's going to throw a couple of interceptions, because that's just a big workload for a guy that takes a lot of risks. If he had a run game and he was only in, the defense actually had to honor that and knew he wasn't just going to be dropping back all the time, I think that's a big way you can limit those mistakes. Like, if they're able to run the ball 20 to 25 times a game and get 4 yards per carry, and you can use some more of that play action and it actually trick them because they're actually afraid of your run game and your offensive line, I think that would help Jameis immensely. I think that's one of the things Kevin could work with him and kind of get those things down, especially if it's for a full season, not just throwing him into the fray through the halfway point. But yeah, I do think that if Jameis is your guy and you improve the offensive line and improve that run game, I think you can cut down on those things in the future and win some a good amount of games with it.
Yeah, and again, I've said this repeatedly. He gets into trouble because he thinks he can make every throw known to man, and some of the throws he tried to make against the Broncos, it was like, wow, that's an awfully tough throw to make. Don't do that. Just the old live to play the next down has to come into the equation at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. You felt that you did some of that stuff with Joe Flacco too, and it was just like, because he would take those chances and fit it in there, and the only problem is when he does fit it in there, he's gonna then be like, "Well, I could do that one. I could do this one that's twice as hard," and it's like, no. We don't get completely out of hand and think that there's not a throw that you can't make. Part of me likes that mentality, just for a fact that if he does throw an interception, it's not going to mentally break him for that game. He's not afraid to go take chances and make plays. But there is some time where you're just like, you know what? Go ahead and throw that in the dirt. Go ahead and throw it out of bounds over the wide receiver's head, or maybe, run for 2 or 3 yards. And I think, again, we talked a little bit about helping him with the run game, but I think that's something that Kevin Stefanski could really work on in an offseason, knowing he is, that guy, because Kevin has done he likes guys that can operate from the pocket and stretch the ball vertically, but he also likes to avoid, taking some really risky plays. And I think if an offense is designed around Jameis Winston, instead of them kind of pivoting for something they kind of designed around Deshaun Watson, I think he'll find a way he can limit some of those things and get Jameis to, take what the defense gives him.